Now, atoms of an element can be in alternative forms as well. This is where the atom gains or loses an electron. This is called ionization, and it forms an ion. Now, an ion is an electrically charged atom or group of atoms, and it results in the formation of compounds between metals and nonmetals. So, a positively charged ion is called a cation, and they are usually formed by metals when they lose an electron. It remains positively charged because there are now more protons than there are electrons. And as we said, typically an atom will have the same number of protons as electrons. So if they gain or lose electrons, that will change that charge, either making it positive or negative. So let's look first at magnesium. Magnesium is a metal and it can ionize. So we have our nucleus, which we'll just draw as the symbol for magnesium. Now magnesium has 12 electrons. So let's draw those 12 electrons in their energy levels. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, now magnesium is going to lose electrons. We know that it can lose electrons because it has a small number of what we call valence electrons. And those valence electrons are what are on the outer ring. So it has 2 valence electrons because they are at the outermost energy level. So magnesium can lose those 2 to get down to a more stable energy level where all of the electron spots are filled. So what that looks like is magnesium with 2 less electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, this is the ionized version of magnesium. Now, in order to show that, there's a really important way to draw this. And we draw it by using some square brackets around it, as well as giving it a charge. Now, it has lost electrons, so it has lost electrical charge, which means it's going to have a positive charge. Remember, this is a cation. So it's going to have a positive charge of 2 plus, because it has lost 2 electrons, so it has 2 more protons than electrons. Now we don't write plus 2, we write 2 plus. Now you may be looking at this and notice, hey, this is the same number of electrons that neon has. Now that's a really important key factor. Remember, neon is a noble gas. Noble gases, they are in group 18 in our periodic table, and they are the most stable elements because they have their outermost energy level of electrons filled. So what elements tend to do when they ionize is try to get closest to their neighboring noble gas. For magnesium, that's neon. So it has lost 2 electrons in order to have the same number of electrons as neon. So as our next example, we'll look at the opposite case. So magnesium would ionize to form a cation, or a positive ion. But some elements can form negative ions. So a negatively charged ion is called an anion, and they are usually formed by nonmetals when they gain an electron. So we're going to look at oxygen. Now oxygen typically has 8 electrons. Now if it's going to ionize, it wants to become like its closest noble gas, which in this case is also neon, because it's easier for an oxygen atom to gain 2 electrons to fill this outermost energy level and become like neon, as it is to lose 6 electrons to become like helium. So when oxygen is ionized, we get an oxide ion, that has gained 2 electrons. We need to make sure we include our square brackets. And because it has gained 2 electrons, it has gained 2 more negative charges, so it is 2 minus.